Oh, funny Duchess. Oh, blonde thing. Yo, Speak Low Poetry. Continuing our series on Ariel. Today, it's Ariel as Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath, born in 1932, she will die in 30 short. And after her death, her poems, Ariel, win the Pulitzer Prize. From Boston to Cambridge, Plath's furious feminist tensions erupt. In these Ariel poems, she envisions herself merging with flight, with her horse Ariel, like Shelley's boat, freed but violently. Ariel becomes for Sylvia Plath a figure of death made art, heroic in its self-annihilation and transformation. In her final collection, Sylvia Plath presents a book of poetic resurrection. In its pages, the poet becomes fire, horse, voice, motion, liberated from stasis, from silence, and from domestic entrapment. She does not escape death, but she makes it her art, and in doing so, claims full attention as Ariel. In her poem, Sheep and Fog, she portrays her last ascension as a failed elegy of defiance. In her contemporary poet and Sexton, a favorite of Speak Low Poetry, Sexton picks up the cadence of Ariel, further transforming grief into lyrical metamorphosis after Plath. From Shakespeare to Shelley, from Fitzgerald to Plath, Ariel evolves, a name spoken in grief, in rebellion, in verse. A lion or lioness of God, a flame through wind, an angelic force, traced through scripture, through Kabbalah, through occultic texts, and the oldest languages of longing. Ariel appears again and again in the laments of Mary Shelley, in Zelda's notebooks, in Sylvia's final stanzas, and in Scott's Green Light, beckoning always and never fully attained. To close, we're going to read you a soliloquy of Plath on Ariel from Speak Low Poetry, and we are also going to share with you 2 poems of Anne Sexton. From Sylvia Plath at dawn, just before the world wakes. I was the arrow, the gull, the scream, but I outran even my own blood. Not wife, not daughter, not offering. I turned and saw myself, hair unpinned, thighs taut, voice unstopped. I was not theirs, I was not yours. I was Ariel, burning through stasis. They named me death, they named me mad, but I was only loud enough to hear the truth. Now silence, again, the final music. A woman unyoked, winged at last. I vanish not to escape, but to remain in flame, in page, in every mouth that dares speak me. The first of 2 poems from Anne Sexton, dedicated to Sylvia Plath. Sylvia's death. Oh, Sylvia, Sylvia, with a dead box of stones and spoons, with 2 children, 2 meteors wandering loose in the tiny playroom, with your mouth into the sheet, into the roof beam, into the dumb prayer. Sylvia, Sylvia, where did you go after you wrote me from Devonshire about raising potatoes and keeping bees? What did you stand by? Just how did you lie down into? Thief, how did you crawl down alone into the death I wanted so badly and for so long, the death we said we both outgrew, the one we wore on our skinny breasts, the one we talked of so often each time we downed 3 extra dry martinis in Boston, the death that talked of analysts and cures, the death that talked like brides with plots, the death we drank to, the motives and then the quiet deed. In Boston, the dying riding cabs. Yes, death again, that ride home with our boy. Oh, Sylvia, I remember the sleepy drummer who beat on our eyes with an old story. How we wanted to let him come like a sadist or a New York fairy to do his job, a necessity, a window in a wall or a crib. And since that time he waited under our heart, our cupboard. I see now that we store him up year after year, old suicides. And I know at the news of your death, a terrible taste for it, like salt. And me too. And now, Sylvia, you again, with death again, that ride home with our boy. And I say only, with my arms stretched out into that stone place, what is your death but an old belonging, a mole that fell out of one of your poems? Oh, friend, while the moon's bad and the king's gone and the queen's at her wit's end, the barfly ought to sing. And oh, tiny mother, you too, oh, funny duchess, oh, blonde thing. The second of the poems from Anne Sexton, as cited by F. Scott Fitzgerald's story Babylon Revisited, Anne Sexton's poem, The Money Swing. Mother, father, I hold this snapshot of you, taken, it says, 1929, on the deck of the yawl. Mother, father, so young, so hot, so jazzy, so like Zelda and Scott, with drinks and cigarettes and turbans and designer slacks and frizzy permanents and all that dough. What do you say to me now, here at my sweaty desk in 1971? I know the ice in your drink is senile. I know your smile will develop a boil. You know only that you are on top, swinging like children on the money swing, up and over, until even New York City lies down small. You know that when winter comes and the snow comes, that it won't be real snow. You just pay money if you don't want it to snow.